Andrew, let me throw a question your way, brother. You often talk about traditional women, yeah? So tell me, where exactly do you even find these types of women nowadays, bro? First off, you don't just stumble upon a traditional woman, you craft one. You don't simply locate a ready-made woman, you have to shape her. She has to be taught, guided. She needs to absorb your values and grow under your influence. You've got to connect with her early enough before the chaotic dating scene damages her mindset to the point where your lessons can't penetrate anymore. A great woman gives her man courage. She pushes him, inspires him, makes him want to grind harder. Good women are seriously potent forces in nature, just like strong men are. But first, you must become the absolute strongest version of yourself. And if more people embraced that, we'd start to see society improve as a whole. But let's be real. As a man, if you end up with a great woman, she can become the highlight of your life, your deepest well of energy. But on the flip side, a toxic woman has the power to completely dismantle your life. Same job, same car, same house, same couch, same dog. Yet your reality feels totally different. Different vibe, different world, all because of who you're with. Worse still, you'll feel this shift most dramatically when you've got a girl who used to be supportive, and then she flips on you. One day, she was your peace, and now she's bringing problems. You're sitting there confused, like, what changed? Why are you angry now? A woman really has the ability to build or destroy a man's world. That takes us back to the earlier point. If it's Valentine's Day and you're home feeling down, heartbroken, good. Honestly, that's a blessing. You need that change in mental perspective. It's unreal how much power a shift in perception can have. People really underestimate that. How seeing the exact same scenario through a different mental lens can completely alter the result and the wisdom you take from it. Personally, when bad things happen to me, my first instinct is always good. I've conditioned myself. This happened? Good. This was meant to occur? Good. That's the ultimate mindset transformation. Because if you sit there saying, why me? You're just keeping yourself stuck. You need these setbacks to toughen you up, to fuel you. I believe every painful event in your life has major importance. Pain is one of the primary ingredients in the formula for becoming the most incredible version of who you can be. Think about any superhero storyline. Pain is the catalyst. Batman is who he is because his parents were murdered. If that tragedy hadn't happened, he simply wouldn't exist in that form. A lot of men don't realize this, that the emotional wreckage they go through, the heartbreak, the humiliation, it all has purpose, that suffering is fuel, not failure. In fact, the worst kind of life a man can live is one where everything always goes right. Really think about that. Imagine you wake up and nothing ever goes wrong. Your girl is always faithful. Nobody ever challenges you. Your body never deteriorates. Your bills magically sort themselves. That's not happiness. That's a slow, soul-crushing boredom. Pain is meant to test you. Struggle is a requirement to rise. It's a cosmic principle. Even physically, if you want to grow stronger muscles, what do? You have to tear the old muscle fibers, destroy them, so that new, stronger ones can take their place. That's the only way they grow. It's the same with your spirit, with your emotional endurance, with your mental stamina. If you aim to become more composed under stress, more perceptive, more efficient when life throws chaos your way, then pain has to become your teacher. Pain is the spice of existence, and the ones who try to avoid that flavor will never be as fierce or effective as the ones who accept it and say, yeah, I can handle this, give me more. Those are the ones who thrive in the long game. So if you're sitting at home feeling low, good, seriously, I'm kind of envious. Those tough experiences are there to push you forward. But, and this is key, you've got to turn that adversity into power. You can't just wallow in misery. Take that hardship and mold it into fuel. That's your duty, your job as a grown man. I also believe men have this built-in masculine impulse to shield, to support. When a man has himself sorted out, he naturally wants to protect his loved ones. He wants to provide. He's got no problem covering the expenses, making sure his people are secure. A man who's operating on all cylinders won't think twice about paying for his woman's lifestyle, looking after the kids, keeping them all safe. That's instinctual. If you're the type of guy who resists that urge, it means you haven't stepped into your full potential yet. And don't even bring up this 50/50 nonsense. That's a weak mindset. That reaction means something's off. When you're thriving, you want to be that provider. It's effortless. You do what needs to be done when you become the man you were designed to be. And another important thing, you've got to be selective about your environment. Hang around people who elevate you, both men and women. That's why a strong masculine circle is vital. When you become the high-value version of yourself and you keep company with others who are on the same path, your influence spreads naturally. Whether you realize it or not, you're leaving behind a ripple, a chain reaction, just by existing the right way. You can't navigate this world without creating some kind of impact. Even small things matter. Smiling at a stranger, opening a door, lending a hand. That stuff sends out shock waves you don't even notice. That's why becoming the best version of you isn't just for you, it's a moral obligation. That ripple effect goes far beyond what you can see. That's how real change begins. And I fully believe the world becomes a better place when men take their role seriously. I genuinely think the burden lies on us as men. I believe men are supposed to lead. And here's the truth. When women find a man they admire and truly respect, they'll follow his direction naturally. It's not about control, it's about earned influence. I've seen it time and time again. A woman falls in love with a strong man and suddenly she mirrors him. She picks up his music taste, echoes his political beliefs, watches his favorite shows, even joins him in gaming. That kind of alignment is real. So when people complain about women today, I always bring it back to men not showing up properly. The root issue is the lack of masculine examples. The shortage of real men doing what they're meant to do. Because let's be real, when a man's on point, loyal women do exist. It all boils down to owning your life. Blame yourself for everything. That way, you reclaim your power. If you blame the world or women for your failures, you surrender all control. But if you blame yourself, you gain the ability to change things. And when men get their lives in order, you'd be amazed at the ripple effect. Your entire environment improves, your relationships, your family, your future kids, your business partners, even strangers. Everyone benefits from your transformation. That's the real societal shift we need. I also believe the universe or God or whatever higher force you believe in, it's not random. There's a logic to it. You're going to receive in life exactly what your actions say you deserve. If you don't have the things you crave, maybe, just maybe, you haven't truly earned them yet. Start living in a way that earns them and watch how quickly the doors open. Most people don't want to reflect. They don't want to admit how they've been coasting or where they've slipped up. Then they wonder why their world feels off course. It's no mystery. Your repeated mistakes are writing the story of your life. But let's zoom out. I actually love the fact that the world is brutally competitive. That's what makes success so sweet. I love that women prefer ambitious, wealthy men. I happen to be rich. I love that they want strong men. I happen to be powerful. Why would I want that to change? The competition keeps it interesting. In fact, I'd be disappointed if the standards were lowered. I don't want the game made easier. I want to dominate at its highest level. Some of you are begging to change the rules because deep down you know you can't win under the current ones. But instead of lobbying for new rules, how about this? Change you. Get stronger, smarter, wealthier, wiser. If women say they want these things in a man, then go out there and become that guy. And say, I want this, 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 and this. I'm never bothered by that because I just sit there and go, yep, all right, message me then. I'm winning. So I'm winning. So I think you should analyze these things as a man. How can you, as a man, take full responsibility for yourself? You can blame her, you can blame women, you can even blame society. And those things may be true. But the most effective thing you can do is sit there and say, let me ensure I don't fall into any group where I can be dismissed. If you do that, you won't have to worry about all this noise. And truly, the best part about being a man, actually maybe the only upside to being a man, is that life for us is more demanding. Being a man is much tougher than being a woman. You're born with zero value. You come into the world not mattering, and your life is going to be uphill. But the one great thing about being a man is that it's the hard version of the game of life. It's the extreme difficulty setting. And in hard video games, you get the high scores. If you become a top-level man, it's the most rewarding experience imaginable. You got guys out there and envious of women because women get attention. They say, look at them. They get into this club or that venue. But if you are at our level, doing it as a man, not as a woman, but as a man, it's far superior. It will always be better. So we actually have the greatest opportunity to live the greatest life. All it takes is being man enough to get your affairs in order. And that's the absolute truth about the world. And I repeat this often. People say it's okay to fail if you tried your best. But I would argue this. If you genuinely try your best, you won't fail. If you truly give it your all every single day and do the things you're supposed to do, you won't lose. I've never once seen someone who wakes up early every day, eats clean, trains 2 times a day, eats correctly, gets adequate sleep, takes proper supplements, and truly does their best, yet isn't in great physical shape. I've never seen it. It's biologically impossible. So you either want it or you don't, and it applies to everything else as well. People often say, I've been trying, but if you were honestly trying for as long as you claimed to be, you wouldn't still be stuck where you are. And that's just facts. When you are sincerely giving it your all, people can sense it. People ask, if women are into money, why are some of them with broke guys? Or why are they dating guys who are just starting out? Well, if you're genuinely trying your absolute best and working hard to build your life, even if you haven't made it yet, people can feel it. Not just women, everyone. There's an aura about it. You could call it energy or potential, but it's visible. It's something you can't fake. People pick up on the ambition, the direction, the structure. It's crazy how many guys message asking, how do I get this girl? How do I get that one? But if you just start doing the things you already know you're supposed to be doing, get your life in order, you'd be surprised how fast it all comes together. Just like in chess, good moves come from good positions. In boxing, the powerful punch lands because you're in the right stance at the right time. You do the right groundwork, and the rest becomes simple. Despite how chaotic the world has become, feminism, modern dating, all of it, if you live with honor, put in the work, stay intelligent, persistent, and disciplined, you will find a loyal woman who loves and respects you. You will. You could be in the worst environment. You could be in Miami, surrounded by distractions. But if you're aligned and disciplined, you'll find a woman who is into you deeply. Even if you're not rich yet, if you're headed there and acting like it, it's amazing how the universe responds. People don't understand this emotional component either. And we talk about emotional expression in men. There's a nuance. Women generally lose respect for men who cry, but not always. If you break down in frustration and cry like a child because you can't figure something out, yes, she'll lose respect. But if you're crying out of sheer fury with tears streaming down your face because someone hurt her and you're ready to destroy that person, that's different. She won't lose respect for that. So again, all these rules have layers. And I'll say this, I don't care how much money I have or how physically appealing I am or how high my status climbs. If a woman thinks she's not safe with me, that I wouldn't step in if something happened to her. She's going to eventually walk away. She'll leave. Maybe she'll go for some thug who would go off on anyone who looked at her wrong. Even if that guy is too much, she still wants that feeling of protection. There's no light without dark. If you want a woman to truly admire you, she has to depend on you for everything. And you better not let her down. It's a huge weight on your shoulders as a man. It's massive. You can't be the guy who says, I don't know. When she asks you to solve something, you say that, she's going to look at you differently, even if you genuinely don't know. You better go figure it out, pay whoever you need to pay, and get it fixed. That's your role. And you can't just say, I love you all the time and expect that to be enough. Everyone online is telling her they love her. Eventually she'll check one of those guys' profiles and he's got a better lifestyle, a faster car, a sharper jawline. Then it's just a countdown until she leaves. This principle applies to business, fitness, love, everything. Nothing you have is truly owned. Everything in life is on lease. You build a successful company, stop grinding, it goes bankrupt. You have a great physique, you quit training, you lose it. You fall in love, you stop nurturing it, it fades away. And the number one thing in life that's least what people don't understand is a woman's respect. That respect can vanish the moment you begin slipping. And the trap is, life will tempt you to slip. They'll hand you comfort on a silver platter. Just relax, just enjoy this meal. But your strength comes from refusing to relax into weakness. I'll share something personal. Girls ask me, why do you always live with your guys? Why aren't you living with me? But they never leave me. You know why? Because living with my brothers keeps me alert. That's how I remain sharp. That's why I'm the man they're crazy about in the first place. If I just lived with a woman, got comfortable, I'd get soft. You're never as focused as when you're with the wolves. You won't train as hard. You won't be mentally dialed in. You've got to have that edge, that predatory awareness. So when I say a woman's respect is rented, I mean it depends on small, everyday things. Is your phone charged? Is your gas tank full? Are your routines dialed in? Some of my most bonding moments with women are just us planning what would do if World War III started, or if the world collapsed, or someone tried to break into our house. Don't worry, baby, I tell her. I've got a steel gate, trained security, bulletproof glass, hidden weapons. I've got it all covered. And she loves it. She loves hearing that more than anything. Be prepared. Stay alert. Stay dangerous. That's what they expect from you. That's what being a man is about. Nothing will spark that deep attraction more than when you tell her, I'll take on the world if it means protecting you. But the thing is, she also expects that. Doesn't matter how liberal the relationship, how progressive the couple. If they're walking down the street and someone threatens them, she expects her man to act without question. And she's absolutely right. And I think one of the last few things you can still give a woman that no algorithm, no social media influencer, no digital illusion can offer is genuine protection, real safety. That's your mission. If you can make a woman feel safe in her soul in a way that connects to her very biology, she will feel something that nothing on social media could ever replicate. And if you execute it properly and excel at your responsibilities, her being popular on social media and having loads of attention actually intensifies her need for safety. That protection she craves can come in many forms. It can be physical, financial, emotional. If you say to your woman, sure, you can get attention on Instagram, you can earn money there, loads of guys will message you, but I'm the only man who's truly going to ensure nothing bad ever happens to you. I'm the only one who'll stop you from making major mistakes. I'll always be the one who makes sure you're protected and secure. No matter what comes up, you can call me anytime. That kind of stability comes from competence. It requires being on point and dependable. And I'm telling you from personal experience, if you can't provide that deep sense of safety to a woman these days, on all levels, not just physically, but mentally and financially too, then it's going to be difficult to compete. If a woman brings a serious issue to you and you don't need to hesitate for more than a second to give her a solution, that's the kind of energy that stands out today. If you can give her that feeling of reliability and strength, that grounding presence, you can actually go toe-to-toe with the modern world's distractions. But if you don't give her that feeling, if she looks at you and doesn't trust you to lead or protect her, then you can't beat the constant stream of validation and excitement that social media offers. The truth is, attention you can't outmatch. Instagram and the online world will flood her with it. But protection, guidance, stability, that's your leverage. That's what women still instinctively yearn for, which is exactly why it's never been more important to be a fully developed masculine man. Your woman should look at you and think, you're like a hero to me. Like something from a movie. I've heard women say that. You're like a real-life superhero. Nobody can get to me when I'm with you. That's the standard you want to hit. Now, if you truly love your woman and she's got her online presence, she's pulling in attention and making money, cool. But your job is still to make sure she feels safe in your presence and under your leadership. You don't want to come across like a controlling nutcase. So what do? You build up so much respect in her mind that she voluntarily gives you the reins, that she wants your guidance because she knows it's coming from a competent, loving place. And the thing is, creating that sense of security is more vital now than it's ever been. It's one of the very last primal switches you can trigger. If you really care about your woman, and you live in a place like Phoenix or some major city where crime happens, you have an obligation to share stories, news reports. Look what happened here. This girl thought it wouldn't happen to her either. She went out alone at night, rode her bike through the wrong neighborhood, and now look. That's not manipulation. That's real talk. It's about awareness. You say, look at this situation. What decisions led to this outcome? How do we make sure this never happens to you? And you tell her, I could never be the same person if anything ever happened to you, so I have to take every step to make sure you're protected. That approach, when done with care, earns trust and opens the door to her listening. Not because she's being dominated, but because she knows it's coming from love and logic. And here's the deal. If you're a lazy man, if you don't train, don't fix anything around the house, don't educate yourself, then when you try to step into that protector role, she's going to look at you like, and what would you do? But if you live a life of readiness, if you're sharp and capable, then when you speak, she listens. I've had women watch Taken and message me saying, that be you, right? You go full Liam Neeson? And I'm like, damn right I would. You want to become that guy in her eyes, that when she asks if she can go somewhere and you say no, her reaction is relief, not rebellion. I'm so glad you said no, she'll say. Because she knows that when you say no, it's out of protection, not control. She feels genuinely safer that you're looking out for her like that. It's not about rules. It's about her knowing she's guarded by a man who takes that job seriously. Now let's dig deeper. Take something like telling her not to go to a nightclub. If you're coming at it with weak energy, insecurity, or jealousy, she's gonna feel it. But if you say, I care about you, I love you, I want you to be safe, I don't think that place is a good idea. If you wanna go out, I'll take you somewhere better. Now you're operating from a place of strength. You're not pleading, you're leading. And if she says, well, I'm going anyway, then you make it clear, I'm here to be responsible for your safety, but I can only do that if you trust me to lead. That's the difference most men miss. It's not about saying no. It's about how and why you say it. Your reasoning has to come from authority and trust, not desperation. I'll tell my girl, be home before it gets dark. And she might push back, it's already dark by 6 p.m. And I'll say, then I want you home by 6. I don't care if you're 28, 30, whatever. I want you safe. Bad things happen in this world. And women respect a man who doesn't ignore that, who's aware of it and takes action. They'll be happy you set boundaries if they know it comes from a place of genuine care. That's the ultimate emotional bond you can create. It's bigger than gifts, bigger than compliments. It's real. And this all ties back to the fact that respect, especially a woman's respect, is not a guarantee. It's rented. You pay rent on it with your effort, your discipline, your leadership, your protection. If you stop earning it, it disappears. You can lose it just like that. You don't own love. You don't own loyalty. You don't own success. You rent them. And rent is due every day. You stop putting effort into your business, you go broke. You stop training, you lose your body. You stop working on your relationship, it starts slipping. That's the reality. And the trap is the world makes it easy to slip. Netflix, junk food, comfort zones, it's all designed to dull your edge. But if you can resist that, if you can keep your edge sharp, you're winning. For me, living with my crew, my brothers, keeps me razor sharp. Women have said to me, why are you always with your boys? I'd rather live with you. But the truth is, I'm the man they love because of how I live. Being surrounded by other driven men keeps me dangerous, keeps me focused, and that's what they're really attracted to, even if they don't consciously realize it. That's why I say this often. Your woman's respect for you is rented, and the rent is discipline. It's control. It's staying dangerous. That means your gas tank is full, your phone is charged, your plans are clear. You don't say, I don't know when she asks for help. You figure it out. You pay the expert. You make the call. That's your job. Some of the best bonding conversations I've had with women were about preparedness. Talking through what we'd do if the world collapsed, if the grid failed, if someone broke in. They love hearing that I've got the gate locked, the alarm set, the Glock stashed, the escape routes planned. That's the kind of comfort and excitement you can't buy with money. That's the ancient part of her DNA saying, this man will protect me. And as much as people want to argue gender roles or pretend society's changed, it hasn't. If you and your woman are walking down the street and a threat approaches, She's going to look at you to act. And if you freeze or hesitate, she'll never look at you the same again. Your number one job before love, before luxury, is security. So if you want your woman to feel real love, make her feel truly safe. In a world that can't give her that, you can. And that's the one advantage you'll always have, no matter how many followers she has or how many messages hit her inbox. Be the man who can carry her through chaos. Be the man who wins through strength, consistency, and presence. That's the game.